Hello guys.
Here.
Welcome back, guys. Oh, it's Sandra.
It's Jane.
And welcome to Sister Sit Down. Guys, it has been a fat ass minute.
Hey,
I'm not supposed to be cursing. I know. Look at me, New Year's, same me.
We're trying to watch our language.
Guys,
I don't even remember where we
missed
left
you.
off.
We literally just been chit-chatting about Love Island. So we actually need a
it wasn't
full-
Love Island. We were recapping Love Is Blind. That's how long it's
Oh,
been.
Love Is Jesus. Yeah, Love Is Blind.
Anyway, now we're gonna talk about ourselves.
Guys, it's been a while, so we're actually we just had to go get food and coffee before we chit-chat with you all. But it has been a minute. So we're gonna give you guys a life update. We're gonna reintroduce ourselves, reintroduce the channel, and just chit-chat today. We're gonna catch up with you. We'll figure out what we're gonna title this when we start
When
talking.
we finish talking.
We've literally been learning how to get here and not start talking to each other
Yeah.
before we catch up on the stuff we need to tell you guys.
I was told her my whole life. She was asking me too many questions. So what were you asking me when you first came in?
We started talking about dating, getting into dating. But I don't know if we want, I really want to catch up on, obviously, your new job. Life in general, but this is all life. Both of our dating prospects is what we started to talk about now, so we might as well get into it now. And then, just like the future.
Okay.
Do you want to start with work first, or do you want to start with dating, since we've already started talking about that?
We can start with work because that's the boring stuff. So work, I started a new job. I've been there
Jane
1
started
week.
a new job, guys. Jane is not in hell anymore.
I'm a manager now, but I have no employees under me. I'm managing me, myself, and I.
That's what you need to start.
Very exciting. That you really didn't have to cover me like that. But honestly, that's generally what I need to do. Because no one's over my shoulder. No one's like, get this done. No, it's me. It's just me. But I'm really excited for it. This is the first time in since I've started working post college that my commute isn't over an hour. It's not hellish. I'm not awake for 3 hours before I get to work.
Not working with dummies.
I mean, I am working with dummies, but that's
But-
nepotism.
Guys, if you guys could understand the switch, she's kind of minimizing it right now. If you guys could understand the switch that this job is for her and for her mental health and for her sanity and just for her growth professionally.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about what it's gonna do for my professional confidence.
Yeah.
Because especially in being in an office alone, you're the only, you are your own checks
You're
and
gonna learn
balances.
so
You're
much to be able to trust yourself and your decision making, because you're not gonna have people
it's just
gaslighting
you.
you. It's literally just you. Every mistake you make, you're gonna have to be able to hold yourself accountable. And you do that so well. You do that so easy. You're not gonna have anyone gaslighting you, making you feel like even the things that you're doing right are wrong. Not to mention your mental peace. So we keep talking about this. Your mental peace to not have to be wasting 2-3 hours of your day just driving.
And I genuinely thought
That in itself gives you space to think.
my biggest concern was the team. I don't know these people. It's gonna be a bunch of strangers, and because I'm in an office alone, are they gonna take advantage of me? But every department is essentially alone because this is a smaller building, so every staff is they need half as many staff members.
They're all self-sufficient.
So everyone is very much I need you to do this for me so I can do this for you. You know what I mean? And everyone seems so nice and sweet.
I love that.
And so that was my first apprehension. I'm like, oh, this is great.
It's only been a week, and I just feel like I'm so excited just to see the progression over the next few months. Literally.
And I was telling my therapist, I'm almost mad at myself for not taking the leap earlier, but there was other hindrances stopping me.
It's the perfect time. God does everything in perfect
I think
timing,
that's
honestly.
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 You have lip gloss on your chin.
As always, say, big lip, when your lips are
juicy. So, yeah, that's it. You were talking about how you're thinking
That's much quicker than I thought.
Yeah, because I was like, what to talk about? My old boss, I'm free
But that's
from her.
good to start over from good news. And look at the way that God has set that barrier for you, for her to not even be pulling into you.
Girl, and in the nicest way possible. I've tried to, I don't know why I'm trying to be professional as if this isn't YouTube. I can talk trash about this woman.
Yeah, but maybe keep it to a minimum, because you never know what could happen down the line or who could see
No. Oh, yeah, that's true. But essentially, then I don't know what to say.
I'll say it. The team that she was a part of before was simply just not conducive for growth.
Yeah.
Literally working with, I hope and pray to God that the wrong people don't ever see this video, but she was literally working with a narcissist. And the way in which, yes, the way in which you have to like gaslight yourself to be able to survive in that kind of environment is scary. Like sometimes I remember the conversations that we would be having. They would be brought to tears sometimes leaving the office, and then have to say out loud some of the things that she's going through or dealing with, and then I have to hear it from like a objective point of view, knowing nothing about your job or thing, and then just being like putting pieces together of like, do you even like hear yourself a little bit? Like you should not feel like that. You should, one, never feel like that in the workplace, but two, what you're saying is not incorrect. Like it took a lot for me to recognize like you're going through a lot because you're gaslighting yourself to make.
I'm trying to things that show up. You're trying to make sense. I have to.
Yeah, you're trying to make sense of things that just don't make sense. On top of that, you're overburdened because of the drive that you're doing. You just have to literally go to sleep and go. That's why I keep thinking like even the ability to not have to recycle yourself every morning like that will give you so much space to think. Do you know what I mean? Let alone the space that you're gonna have to be working by yourself and not have all these voices in your head. You're about to grow exponentially, honestly.
Enjoy.
It's gonna be sweet. Even outside of like the people that you're working with before. Narcissist is the heavy word. I don't know the women. But it's giving delusional a little bit.
And like, if we don't want to give her a clinical diagnosis, at the very least, she has a strong ego. Like, it's very much me.
And the thing is, it's not even weird. It's not even a hard thing to say, to be honest, because it's not even just you that feels like that. Everybody in your organization.
So, like, I shared with my sister, like, obviously she knows. Like, you know, when you go home and you recap and it's like, I told her, like, the nitty-gritty start to finish. She doesn't know, like, what I do on a day-to-day, like, work-wise. But, like, I was telling her about this woman, yada, yada. But my coworkers, up until, like, even in my, like, I'm leaving, like, this is my 2 weeks, I'm transferring to this position, yada, yada. I never spoke poorly about this woman. Mm-hmm. The words, I'm leaving because of my manager, never left my mouth. Like, anything, honestly, anything negative about her didn't leave my mouth until the last week where this woman pushed me. So, like, anytime I talk to HR is like, I had you pegged for 6 months max.
Yep.
I'm talking.
They're like, Jen, you lasted longer than we thought.
I'm talking to my manager's manager, and he's like, yeah, like, I get it, you want to go for growth, yada yada, but also, like, wink wink, is it because I'm talking, like, everyone within the organization is essentially telling me, like, it's your manager. Like, you don't have to say it, but I know it is. And I'm over here, like, I'm just looking for more opportunities to grow. Like, I feel like I've reached my max. Not even excuses, because I do actually want to learn and grow, and I can't do it here.
Part of why
this is overwhelming. You guys, she's put, like, and someone even asked me the other day, like, what does she do? And honestly, I don't know what she does. Like, I'd like to believe that she's handling things that I can't handle. But in terms of, like, the workload and how it's actually been carried, I'm like, I'm carrying too much. And then there's until I transferred here, and they were essentially like, even if everything I was carrying, I dropped. Even if I dropped it all and said I'm not doing it. Even if I was the worst employee ever, you're the worst manager ever, because why didn't you know she dropped it? Well, and I was like, I had to sit there and be like, you know what, you're right.
Girl, honestly,
like, you know, maybe I did fumble that.
Honestly,
I shouldn't have had to do it.
Even without all the details of like what you were going through before, just know this is
freedom.
This is God.
It's freedom.
Moving.
God shoved me.
This is God moving meticulously. Okay?
That is my.
This God is so good, to be honest with you.
God. That's why I'm like, it's above me. Just like leave. I don't have to say anything.
That's how I feel about life in general. Literally.
Please.
Why should I suffer and worry when my Father is moving?
He's already writing the books.
You cannot make me. You cannot pressure me. You cannot make me miserable when God is my protector. How can you do that? And the fear the things that you were going through, the tears that I would hear in your voice, it would really enrage me.
I've been in this office for
actually enrage me.
Peace. And not only that, I could have had peace.
I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of literally talking about that past situation, because it's like God has literally placed you here for a reason, and you deserve it. You literally deserve it, because like even when you would talk about the things that you're going through, the nuances,
this woman told me over.
That's the definition of gaslighting.
She told everyone before they told me, but because I am who I am, people are still coming back to me. Like, I just want to let you know, she's smiling in your face, but this is what she's telling you.
That's why I kept telling you, your character literally speaks for itself, because like, you don't have to do anything. You're moving around trying to cover your ass, talking a certain way. Meanwhile, people know you. People know all of your past employees.
I had to keep telling myself, like, your character will speak, like, in rooms that you're not even in, people are speaking positively about you, even when people are dragging your name through the dirt. So, like,
even when she tries.
She tried.
People that know you well enough will be like, that doesn't sound like her.
And the whole time she told me to my face, like after telling everyone she's not ready, she can't do this job yet. And after I've been in this office for a week, I'm like, this is the position built for me to learn and grow. This spot right here. So, as my manager, she's like, stay longer. She needs to learn a little bit longer. From who? You?
From literally who?
And everybody's looking at me like, from her? Like, everyone's, the quiet part out loud.
It don't even
just
make
like,
sense.
that doesn't actually, like...
Anyway, honestly, I don't even want to talk about her.
Next,
to be honest with you, but...
Let's talk about, you said you wanted to go back to school?
Oh yeah, this is a random note.
It doesn't make sense, but...
It's crazy. It does make sense to me right now.
No, it just popped out of nowhere.
Oh, exactly. For sure. And it's crazy because I've really been feeling like... I've really been thinking maybe my MBA was for nothing. I was kind of just going through the routine,
but that's COVID.
just going to school, which is fine. I don't regret doing my MBA. But I was burnt out and I was like, I'm never gonna... It was COVID, the end of COVID. I was in school during 2020 because I graduated undergrad 2019.
Did you graduate? You didn't graduate at the same time. Your undergrad was when I was in... Okay, that was COVID.
Because my first year, it was regular, and then COVID hit, and my last year was virtual, which saved my ass because I was so burnt out with going to that campus. I was taking 4 classes a week. Like, most of my days were literally going to work until 4 and going to class 5 to 9. Like, I was insane. So I was fully burnt out, but I've really been thinking lately, and I even feel weird putting it out in the atmosphere. You know how you feel like when you say something out loud, maybe it's not really, something might thwart your views, but I'm very much like, I don't care, I'm just saying it out loud, because for the first time, I'm like, I could actually go to school and enjoy it. Like, I love psychology to the point where I'll actually really learn. Yeah, I would really enjoy what I'm learning. I wouldn't feel burnt out because I'd be excited about the things that I'm learning. And if I really think about I've been thinking for a long time, like the job that I'm in, I love my job. I love what I'm getting paid. I love the flexibility of everything. Yeah. But I don't see myself in this industry long term. And I've been thinking a lot about what my purpose is, right? Think about what I would really enjoy in life. And I really do think I want the flexibility of like a private practice. I would really enjoy being able to set my own schedule, being able to do what I love, help people grow in the way. And for the longest time, we've talked about this. I always thought like my empathy would be, that's why I stopped in undergrad. I switched from psychology. I didn't switch, I still finished my psych degree. But I picked up business and did my MBA because I thought my empathy, I wouldn't want to be able to do white couch talk therapy, right? I was like, I would be too invested with my patients, my clients. I just wouldn't be able to take, I would take work home way too much. Yeah. But for the first time, I'm really feeling like my empathy is literally my superpower. The older I get, I just feel like my frontal lobe has clicked recently or something. Because the way I'm like able to set boundaries, the way I'm able to just communicate people honestly and openly without sabotaging myself, without trying to people please, without a subconscious like underlying motive of like, I can genuinely just like, share. Yeah. I really feel like actually this would be my purpose. I've been questioning what my purpose is. This is literally my purpose, and I was running away from it for so long. But I also, going back to saying God does everything for a reason, this is a perfect time to be doing it. I really feel like I wouldn't be able to appreciate the school that I'm doing if I did this back then. I wouldn't be able to like absorb the knowledge that I'm getting if I wasn't in this place. So I really just feel like God does everything in the right time. I haven't even applied yet. I haven't even started applying to anything yet, but I'm already excited for it. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should do something online or if I want to be like on campus somewhere. Because I'm like, I would have to drive, or I would just move and work remotely most of the time and drive for, I don't know. I literally don't have a plan yet. I've just been honestly excited just at the prospect of doing it, to be honest with you. That's how I know like this is what I meant to do. Because I haven't been excited about something for a long time. I've actually been making good money, able to travel, living life, but I'm like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest. Like, I don't find any purpose in this. You know what I mean? There's no passion in this. It's just okay for now, and I'm good at my job. But so yeah, that's about it. But very short update. We need to talk about what we really need to talk about. This is gonna be the intricate, the juicy stuff. Yeah.
Juicy.
So this is what we started kind of touching on before we got on camera. Why is it out there? I don't know. That we really kind of like tabled our conversation because we're like, if we're gonna film today, we might as well table this conversation before we get out all the details that we want to. Nitty-gritty. So I downloaded my dating app again last week, and Jane has been in a phase where she hasn't been on apps for months, like not learning to date. But Jane is delusional in the sense of she just thinks God is gonna plop her man. In front of her somewhere.
I don't think it's delusion. I mean, it is a delusion. But something in my spirit really, truly, I mean, I felt this way last year, but this way I really believe it. I feel like I'm going to fall in love this year. I do. I genuinely do. And that's why I was telling you, I was like, I don't have the apps, but I'm just like, I need to prepare myself. Like this man, let this man stand for me today. I'll be shook. I'll be like, now, and you're right. Now you have to date. Now you have to actually be the healthy version.
Yeah.
Now you have to actively.
You have to challenge yourself. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall. I don't have a feeling that I'm gonna fall in love, but I feel like I'm really ready for love. I'm actually really ready for love this time. For the first time, actually. I don't think I've ever been in love, even though I thought I was. I don't think I've ever been in love. And this is the first time I actually feel like I could actually love someone because I love myself. Do you know what I mean? Like in the past, I was in no position to be dating or trying to love somebody at all. So I get that.
But I am.
But you have a genuine feeling of like,
I'm like, he's out there.
This is gonna happen. And to be fair, I should take that back because God really could plop your man somewhere in the most unlikely situations. But you're right, have to prepare yourself. You have to challenge yourself to be the healthiest version of yourself. Because are you gonna be ready?
Don't even get me wrong. Like I'm not over here like I need to be the perfect version because I'm also
the
balancing
healthiest
like
version though.
And I'm also balancing like even in your, you don't have to be perfect to give and receive love, which is always where I'm kind of just like ooh. But like I would like to be at the best version.
You know the things that you have to work on, and it's not like you can work on those things on your own. And that's why I'm like, you should start dating.
That's what got me.
Because you have
to
like,
practice.
You have to practice. You have
do you remember
face it again to recognize if you're ready.
Oh, this is a text. Do you know? Remember what's his face where I was like that? I had a year, maybe like 20. It was 2022, and I was like, I want to be this is the same phase I'm in now. I'm like, I want to be romance. Like I want this, I want that. And I dated this guy for a couple of months. He was the most romantic person I've ever met.
Unreasonably romantic.
And I was like, in the moment, I was like, well, I'm not appreciative.
Yeah.
Like he did something romantic, and it wasn't until like after the date that I was like, Jane. Everything about that was romantic.
Bro,
Why did you treat him?
This man was dancing in the kitchen with Jane, bro.
We had a date that lasted till like
I'm looking at them like they could
2 a.m. We didn't have sex, guys. It was very much like I'm a person with no boundaries, right? So I'm like in his apartment, like any progression would be like, oh, you guys are gonna sleep together tonight.
Like any fool, wig off, just being herself.
No. And this guy was like, we were like talking, actually getting to know each other, and he didn't tell me until later. I was also like a little tipsy. So he's like, yeah, we talked about some profound things. We talked about people we lost in our lives, like how that made us feel about XYZ.
You were drunk that
He
day?
lost a really close friend. Yeah, that's why I slept there, because I was like, neither of us could go anywhere. And we wound up dancing in like his kitchen. I don't dance, guys. I'm scared to dance. He's like, just like no one's fucking here for sure. Like, and I was like, bro. And I know I didn't have a wig on at this point. I think it was the next date. He was just like, just take it off. Like, why are we over here pretending like that's not your hair, right? And he's like, okay, cool. This is not a black man. He was like Middle Eastern.
Bro.
He's like, just take it off. Like we can go to sleep. And it was like doo-doo braids, guys. This was not like fresh underneath. Like I had no scarf. He was like, okay, good night.
To be fair.
But like just every single date was something romantic. Or just like objectively romantic. If you put it on a piece of paper, wrote it down like, hey, this is what happened to me on Thursday
stuff
afternoon.
That us as delusional girls think about and dream about.
And that was a moment for me to be like, Jane, these are the things that you've asked for. Like you want romance, you want to be courted a certain way. You need to then be receptive and show appreciation of that.
I have a question.
You think
I
date everyone?
No. Okay. I actually have a genuine question. Because I think part of me is also thinking because. Okay, I don't even know how to lay this out where it can lead to the kind of conversation or the answer that I need to get from you. Because I'm like, let me go through what I'm thinking actually. So it's like, there's an aspect of it, because I always think about this. One of the number one things that I really want when I get married, I think about this, like dancing with someone on a Sunday morning, just listen to music, cleaning, doing whatever, like that shit is so romantic. I've been on dates I've been in situations that are super romantic, but the guy wasn't right?
Yeah, that's
whereas
exactly
like
what
this person, okay, that's what I was about to ask you, because do you think that
like
the person just wasn't correct? Because I would consider Greece the most romantic, but he just wasn't the person, right?
That's
so
the same
it's
situation.
Like, okay, it's like because I always thought maybe you were attracted to him. And you
I actually wasn't. I was attracted to him.
So why was he near the right person?
He just wasn't. Like I genuinely think his purpose was to show up, show me what romance could and can look like.
I think that's what Greece was for me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I never thought about it that way with him.
He was in DC short term. Like it was very much like we entered it knowing like this is just shits and gigs.
Okay.
Like he very much was there to like this is how you could be treated.
That is it's crazy because we've talked about Greece so much and I didn't equate the two. And you've never talked to me about Greece, or the advice that you give me about Greece has never been for a place of like I've
This is how
basically
Turkish guy
experienced
was.
that. That's exactly yeah. I did not realize that's how you saw it. I just thought you just weren't ready for it. You just didn't accept it.
No, it was literally like a slap in the face. I was like, because when I tell you every single thing this man did, even when it was about to be our last date. So on our first date, he accidentally took me to. I wanted to see the Lincoln Memorial, where we had like a bet, like this was the Lincoln Memorial, and I never seen Abe Lincoln like up close. Like I'd always
stare at you as if I'm.
He took me to the Jefferson Memorial, and I needed to pee so bad. So he was trying to be romantic. We got in the Uber. We went to the wrong memorial. I'm like, I can't pee in a porta potty. I'm gonna die. Like,
no, you would.
So like, and this was another romantic experience that I was like too pissed that I needed to pee to like appreciate. I'm like, bro, this is not the right memorial. Like, because he's like, we're going home. And I get out of the car and we're at a memorial that's not the one he thought. So on our very last date, we went to the Lincoln Memorial, and this is at this point after several dates, I'm just like, no, this is a romantic guy. So I was like, this is a really great way to wrap this up. Look at us going to the memorial. Like, it was like a full circle moment. So like this man, he was moving. Like his lease was up and he was moving. I think to New York, and then.
That's right.
So it was very much like this. There's a start and an end to like our whole experience. So he very much was just there to be like, and it also was a lesson for me. Appreciate it, accept it. No kiss on the first date. No, like, it was.
You know what I'm thinking? Because you know how we've always talked about how we're realizing now as we get older, our lives are basically parallel, except we just don't realize it in the moment. Because everything you're saying reminds me so much of literally the experience that we've talked about with Greece. It's the
yours is okay. Just for context,
so this is what I want to talk about.
Hers will be Greece and mine will be Turkish.
Yeah. So I want to kind of expand on this because I had a question while you were talking, and then I got so deep in what you were saying. Shoot, I hope it comes because I really actually want to talk about this.
It has nothing to do with
It's exactly to do with this.
No, if you were asking me if you think it was just a person but at the wrong time, but it was an experience, then you also said,
yeah, damn, I really wanted your opinion on this.
Just
darn.
You think it'll come back?
I hope so, because I really actually want to talk about that. Damn, and then I just
I
stopped it and I just let you keep talking because I really wanted to. This is why we interrupted each other.
I know. You just have to interrupt. We don't need to be respectful. Just cut me off.
Because let me start talking because maybe it'll come to me because I really actually want your opinion on this. Because it would have segued into what we should be talking about. Yeah, because I was thinking like, I'm trying to talk so I can remember, but then I'm forcing myself to remember it. Okay, either way, I'm thinking about like Greece in both of those scenarios, and like it was the same exact thing with Greece, right? Yes, like we were going. I didn't even realize that those situations were so identical. I actually did not think about it that way. I really just thought you were not mentally prepared to accept that kind of love in the moment, and it was the exact same thing with Greece. Where I was like, same thing, no pressure, no like exactly what I wanted in a relationship. Someone who's so soft with you, someone who literally is such a good listener, gives you the space to just be yourself, learn about yourself, and is always like attentive to what you need before you even need it.
Yeah.
Right? Like just so caring without any pressure of like you having to give something up for that, right? Just that is the definition of romance to me, right? Like I would never have needed anything in that situation, right? I would have just been able to be myself. I would have just spent my life thinking, what do you need today? What do you want to do today? Are you struggling today? Like there would be no pressure. That is I needed to experience that. And it's crazy because I didn't even think about Turkish guys that way. You just need to
know it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wish I could remember this question. I just rambled and still didn't remember that question. Fudge.
Well, I'll just keep talking then.
Yeah, okay,
for
keep
me,
talking. If I remember, I'm going
my
to interrupt
experience,
you.
Please do. My experience directly before Turkish guy was, I think what was the catalyst into Turkish guy, like the universe basically being like, this is what you need to experience, because my experience right before that was definitely like, in my mind, I feel like I glamorized this dude thinking like, you're almost not deserving of the situation, but that guy wasn't that sounds bad because it's nothing against him, but it's not like that guy wasn't anything special. He wasn't doing anything special. It was just like, oh, this kind of person exists. And
to be fair, he was better than what you are witnessing,
been exposed
your
to.
Peers and what you have experienced before, but it still wasn't what the max of what you deserve.
Even him, it was like, you just need to see that this exists. You just need to see that this
you can have it. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what happened with Turkish guy right after. Appreciate the romance that you said you wanted and asked for.
I really wish I interrupted you because this would have actually been a perfect segue.
Well, let's just segue into it anyway. Dating apps.
Yeah, so we're both dating again, right? Or Jane
Yeah, I'm not
literally
dating.
an hour ago re-downloaded
I stopped trying to set up Bumble
to record this.
video.
Yeah. So I've been dating again for about a week now.
Really? Just a week?
It's literally been a week. And I have a
Doesn't
date
feel so
after
much
this.
longer.
It does, because I literally have had 4 dates this week.
You're crazy.
Crazy, because it's because
You're doing like that's a job. What else are you gonna do?
I do,
Like,
yeah,
actually.
literally. But it is a job. It basically is. Like, you have to,
Prioritize it.
yes,
Make time
you
for it.
really do. And like, I
Squeeze in.
keep thinking the word practice. That's why I said that earlier, because you really do have to practice. You have to expose yourself to certain things and practice
And
saying
that's
no,
what got me.
practice thinking I need to leave, practice this is not good, practice feeling what you're feeling
That's what
of
got
like
me.
this isn't right. One thing that I struggle with, right, is like I move in the world based on how I feel. I don't always have the words yet, but what I've done in the past that has kept me in situations way too long is waiting until I can explain why
Yeah.
a situation's not for me. Instead of just going based on that, even in the situationship that I had after my relationship, I was proud of myself because I didn't let it last as long and I was standing up for myself a little bit more. But it's still like, as soon
You
as you
didn't
have
like it
that
as well.
feeling, exactly, as soon I need to practice having that feeling and being able to walk away from a person, because no men, like these men are not
They will
going
never
to
remove
leave
themselves.
you. Yeah, they're not going to leave a situation when they're literally benefiting from having you around. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you feel like you're not uncomfortable, but it does, because I don't feel like I'm ever uncomfortable in situations, but you can tell when a situation's not for you. And I get caught up sometimes in, okay, they're taking you out, they're treating you like they're romancing you, but it's just not for you. So at the end of the day, you're wasting time. You're wasting energy in which you could be spending. And this is what I was thinking when you were talking about
Can you pass me?
the blanket.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking about when you were talking about these ogres that hinge keeps finger you that just offend you. Because to me, I'm like, I don't care how many people come to me that are not for me. I just need to learn how to shut them, because you just have to find the one.
This is what I was trying to get into in the car, right? It's not just the ogres, right? Because for me, I'm so sorry.
Explain your issue.
This sounds, it's not even my issue. Everyone who has Hinge as an application, it's your issue and everyone knows it. Because everyone's heard is it a TikTok where she was like, they send you men that look like they just showed up on Earth? Like,
It's so factual.
this man, I think this man was one of my catalysts to like delete the whole application.
That's what I meant
So
by
it's
your
like-
issue. Like, your issue, like,
so-
you won't even go back because
So
of this
it's not just so much that like I saw this one man that looked heinous, like he shouldn't have even been able to see me. It was like the lead up. It's like you see 50 men that are like you're just not up to the caliber of the kind of man that I should be here. But then to see that, it's like, no, actually you guys are playing with me now. So it's not just the one troglodyte. It's the fact that I'm being so serious. Like, it's not just the one man. It's the fact that like you're not even giving me access to any of the men that I would approach or be interested in any way.
You don't think so? That's what I was asking you. Like, you don't
Sandra,
think
I'm
you
telling
meet
you,
people that are potential?
and they did something to that application because I was seeing them before. And then I stopped seeing them.
And
So
you
I
know
said,
what's-
I
you
just
know
don't
what?
want to be
That's
here.
actually very true, because when I've deleted it the last time, it was the same thing. I was seeing people that were just not. I was just getting bored with it. I was seeing people that are way too. I don't
And
necessarily
their
have
goal
an
is to
issue with
keep you
it.
on there as long as possible.
Yeah.
And the goal is to keep the men on there as long as possible because the men are probably the paying consumers. They're gonna pay to see me. They're gonna pay to see the people.
That's
they
why
want
it
to see.
doesn't bother me as much, because
No.
I'm like, you're gonna experience
No.
that. Like, the men are gonna have
I'll
access
be
to
on
people
Bumble.
that they shouldn't have.
Because I can use Bumble BFF on there and I can go.
Yeah, you know my garbage bubble. But what I was gonna say is, I don't know. For me, it's not as big of an issue, because to me, dating apps are made for you to be able to decide who you want to talk to.
No,
I can
they're
click
heinous.
X all the time.
And the more you click X, the more they'll show you those ugly people because they're not. They're.
But you know what it
captivating who
is?
you're
You
attracted
know what
to.
it is? I also don't spend it. I've realized this time now that I'm on Hinge again. I don't spend as much time like swiping on men. I have a weird feeling
Swipe with.
to swipe on
People
a man.
said choose between who swipes on you.
Yes, that's the only page that I spend my time on, to be
Yeah.
very honest with you. And I realized that's why I exhausted myself the first time I was on Hinge, because not only was I accepting those people, but I was also actually, when I do like a man's thing, it's only their prompts. It's like if it's a good prompt that stands out to me, but I'm rarely on the actual, like I think I've been on the actual swiping page maybe twice. I never use my
That's smart.
swipe.
That's
Like,
smart.
I'm literally picking between the people who come in my likes, and I get some ogres
Troglodytes.
too. Yes, some whatever crazy word that you keep making up.
It sounded rude. Like, I'm one of those people that's like, I believe everyone is beautiful in their own way, but this man was not.
No, I told you I've had to start screenshotting them because the kinds of people that come to you and the kinds of things that people say to you is insane. But that's the beauty of dating apps. It's not like it's not like one of those people is approaching you in real life, right? That you can literally choose who you even let have access to you. And it's a boundary thing for me. I have to decide who I'm even gonna. And that's what I was gonna say. That's why I
spent his like on me. So like you.
It's okay. People send me roses all the time and say the craziest things, and they're literally 5'7".
You wanted to waste one of your 10 likes a day.
I have to go through some of my screenshots that I've been taking lately because some of them are getting egregious. But that's a perfect thing. I screenshot it now because I'm like, damn, I need to remember how egregious this is. I exit and then you just keep going. But that's what was exhausting me the first time. There are just so many people that you're trying to give a chance to, not the troglodytes, but there's so many people between swiping and accepting likes. There's so many. In a week, I've accepted 4 dates. How have I overbooked myself this way? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what dating is, practicing. See, there's a lot.
For me, it's the practice.
That's why I FaceTime with people. That's why there's one guy who I just FaceTime with this week.
How do you even organize
that? If you've been talking consistently for a little bit,
but I don't talk to men consistently. Like I'm bad at like
I suck at texting. That's why I don't mind the FaceTime because there's one guy who wanted to ask me on a date. We were supposed to go on a date Thursday. That would have been date 5. He wanted to FaceTime before we go on a date or something like. Or he wanted to FaceTime one night. When I saw him, I'm not going on a date with him. I haven't texted him back since that FaceTime. And he said even something in his text that he said because he lives in Gaithersburg and he wants to meet in the middle, since I work in an area that's kind of close there, and he said something. I said something about like I was busy this week because I have booked too many dates and I want to see my friends as well and I wanted to see you. So I was like, this week might be hard. And he said something like, oh, if we really want to see each other, like we'll make it work.
Next.
No, that on top of the FaceTime, when I saw his face on FaceTime, I said, this is not gonna work.
I'm already exerting myself.
And he even had the nerve to say something about like, oh, sometimes you have to FaceTime to just see that people who are they are. And me, I'm on the FaceTime. You are. Exactly. me on FaceTime, my pictures are stunning on Hinge, my best pictures. And I'm here on FaceTime, no makeup, and I'm still
you're
that girl. Like, but I'm looking at you,
and you're not that guy.
I'm saving you money because I would have been sick if I got on that date. We were supposed to go bowling. We were supposed to have dinner. If I would have been sick if I stood there next to him. So you save yourself days. That's why I FaceTime. That's why I talk on the phone just to see like what they talk. Oh my God, one guy was like 36 or something. We got on the phone. Oh, he's so fine too. Tall, chocolate. Like he said the most romantic thing to me when he first liked my post. He said something about like when he first he deleted Hinge a while back and he's literally been wanting to like he was so happy when he matched with me and saw me again because he's like he really wanted to ask me on a date before he deleted it the first time. He just my sweet nothings in my DMs, right? So we were talking for a little bit. He has a fucking Android, so we were video chatting on WhatsApp. It feels like it. But the smartest people that work with computers always vouch for.
I know.
That's what I was about to say.
I date a lot of engineers and those bitches be green bubbles.
Listen, so we were on FaceTime.
Nah, I won't.
He's still so cute.
I can't do it.
But he said something. What did he say? He said something. Of course, he brought up something about like fit, feminine, or something about. Oh, he was talking about. Oh, he said we were talking about books and reading and stuff like that. And he was saying, oh, I've really started reading more. He's reading a book called 48 Laws of Power. When I read the summary of that book. It scares me. I've read the summary. It's literally all about manipulation. Red flag number 1. 2, he said something about I asked him like what he said something that gave me weird vibes, and then
this is the fine man?
This is the fine man, okay? And he said something about like he has somehow the conversation led to like something, and he said he still has a lot of hate and like pain in his heart from something that happened. I was like,
red flag number 2.
Red flag number 2. So of course I had to ask. I was like, okay, so do you think you're ready for dating or something? He's like, I don't think so, actually. He said, absolutely not. I said,
why are you in my phone?
No, literally, I said, so actually, I don't think this is a situation that's going to work for me. It's not something that I want. Whatever. And we were supposed to go on a date as well. He was planning to ask me on a date. His car is like fucked up. So he was like, I really want to ask her on a date, but I need to fix
Nothing
my car.
Nothing about this sounds like you're ready to be in a relationship.
That's exactly what I said. I said, he said something about, I wish I could read you the message. He said something about like, absolutely not, but I'm really ready to put myself out there again and kind of see what's out there and see if I can find love and trial and error.
You can go try somewhere else.
Yeah, literally. I said I'm not trying to be an error or a trial, and I really had to think about how, like, the healthy headspace that I'm in to even think that because I said
because he's fine.
Because when I said I'm really thinking to myself, I'm in a place where I'm so ready to give love fully. Yeah. Because I feel it within myself. The way I love myself. Do you know what I mean? Like good, bad, and ugly. I love who I am. Yeah. God made me this way, crafted me with His own fingertips. Do you know what I'm saying? Like. And I don't think I've ever been in a place to actually give love and receive it in the past at all. So to read that message and be like, this is not what I want for myself at all. And I said, I'm so sorry. I crafted that message by myself without Delaney's help. I said, this is not a situation that I want for myself. Like, I'm really sorry that you went through whatever you went through that's there for you, but I wish you all the peace in the world, honestly. And of course, he's still on my phone talking about some, like, are you cutting me off as like a potential lover? Like, do you think we can still keep talking? Like, this is what the guys do all. This is why I struggle, because I'm like, I'm already mustering up I'm already mustering up the courage to say no the first time. But these men don't leave you alone, right? Like, how have I ended up on a second date, on a 13th date with the man that I cut off a while ago?
Actually, right.
But it's like, if you want to take me to lunch and spoil me,
who
am I to say no?
And they will talk circles around it. Like, and I find myself in situations where I'm like, how did you said no? How many times have I said no?
No, seriously.
I've said no many times, and then that's even a red flag, because why do you want to?
Because why do you keep
trying to?
Yeah.
Anyway,
so that's where I feel like in dating now, I'm actually really enjoying it. Like, I'm actually really enjoying it because I'm really strategizing way differently. And that, one, I don't want to waste my time. But two, I'm actually ready. So I'm not in a rush to settle down at all, but I'm actually ready for that to happen. And I've experienced like romance and actual care for someone in a way that I haven't in the past. So it's like, I wouldn't have been able to receive it in the past at all. No wonder I was willing to settle for literally under the ground.
Dirt, trenches, below the sea level.
Meanwhile, it's like sometimes when I hear how some of these men talk about me, or how some of these men like having me next to them,
you're
I'm like,
fucking angel. Like, I don't think you understand. That's why a man who can verbalize that he is not ready, not in his position, and traumatized, is still trying to pursue you, because he's thinking, oh, I'm fine, you're fine, let's be fine together.
Let's just be fine together.
No, meanwhile, you want me to go through hell, trials and tribulations for what?
You want me to you want to drag me through the trenches. I said, I'm not trying to be someone's, like, I'm thinking in my head, I don't want someone who thinks that they're ready, knows that they're not ready, but wants to just try. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking in my head, like, do girls hear you say that? Because I was like, I really respect you being honest with me.
To be honest.
I really, but that affirmed to me why you have to follow your gut. Because there's people who won't even tell you that. There's people, he said, most girls don't even ask me that question. He's like, I've never been asked that question, but when I have given that answer, a lot of people don't. It doesn't matter. They're thinking,
he's candid. He's so honest.
Exactly.
At least he's emotionally aware enough to like be honest. Okay, but what you said is you're not emotionally hoping.
And that's why I told him, I was like, I really respect you telling me that. I really respect you actually being honest with me. But I'm thinking in my head, this is why you have to trust your gut, because there's a lot of people who would not tell you that, but you would feel signs of it down the line. You would feel signs of I said, you can't give anything that's not in your heart. So if you have hate is a strong word.
He said hate?
He said, I have so much hatred and pain in my heart that I'm working on relieving. Sir, so you want to relieve it on me? I said, you cannot give, you can't give something that's not in your heart. So you're just trying to explore the world.
Crazy.
Right? So I said, my guy, please, my heart is fragile and sensitive. Don't bring that here, okay? Yeah.
None of that.
And you can't give me anything but hate and pain. I said, please, take it somewhere else. But that's why I'm like, you have to follow your gut, because those signs would come out. Had he not told me that, I would have felt that in the relationship. And I would have had to be able to walk away with those subtle signs. I was just lucky. I was just lucky that I asked the question early on, and he told me early on. He also could have lied, and that I would still find out as he continues to pursue me. But that's what's making me realize, even if the signs are subtle and they're in your gut, you have to move. You have to.
That's my word for this year. You have to move. God will guide you, but you just take a step forward, left, right.
That's what I was saying earlier, though, about like I'm used to thinking too much and waiting until I have the answers on why I've left, and that makes you just waste time. Meanwhile, I just need to feel the feeling and just move. Just continue. But honestly, I'm proud of you for starting to date again.
That's honestly what got me, is you saying the word practice. It's like, because I am very well aware that, like, I feel like as black girls, especially black girls who grew up in like predominantly white spaces or like places where you don't get like the dating experience in the time period you did, because by the time I started dating, it's like you're in college. It's like no one's trying to like have your first kiss and like be like swing hands like your 12-year-olds. Like they're just like, so we fucking. I'm like, I'm a child of God. Like I you're looking at me too long and I'm nervous. I'm shaking my boots. Like, so now I'm in my mid-20s and it's just like people just assume like everyone has like this experience. I'm like, no, I want to be treated like I open the door for me at the front door, and like romance. I want the things that I didn't get. So it's like almost staggered, but I feel like that's a lot of people, black people aside. Like I think that's a lot of people's experiences in our age group.
I've grown to really appreciate the fact that I did start dating early on, because so many people have been traumatized. So many people have gone through so much before they recognize it. And I'm really thinking about, even my relationship was, I was 19 when I started dating that man. But it's still, I'm realizing with my perspective now, I was not in a place to be making any decisions about anything.
Moving.
Like,
yep.
Hello?
Playing house.
If I'm making a decision about dating now, right now, I would trust myself way. I would not hesitate about a situation now. I know the person that I pick next is gonna be my person, and I have full control of that. I was thinking before it's just dreamy, lovey, someone's just gonna and see if it works. It's gonna take work, it's gonna take practice, but I'm gonna decide on it, and I know it's gonna be the best decision because I will have the tools to make the right decision. You know?
Yeah. I never do this in color. I don't know how about it, but I like it.
I know. I was looking at them at the coffee shop. I like it a lot. That's what made me think. I'm glad I brought that nail polish because it's making me want some pink too. But yeah, I wish I could remember what I wanted to ask you earlier, because that would have been a really good segue to talk about. But it was about like the romance that you were talking about, and just like both of us experiencing that kind of in tandem. Yeah. Not in tandem. It wasn't the same time period, but it was the same phase of our life in that.
Of our dating.
Yeah. But it does make me know for sure that is possible for us, right? It's just about wanting that in the right person, or being able to see that with the right person, because we're both experiencing it now. We're both actually experiencing it.
I need to
that gives me so much hope that literally our life, we might be married at the same time. We really are gonna have kids at the same time. Mark my words, guys. Mark our words. Jane and I. Because it's actually starting to scare me how much our lives are parallel.
They're the same. To be fair, there was moments in time where I knew.
Yeah, I don't
we're
think
going
I
through the same thing
in
different moments, but I'm like,
it's like we're both in our own tunnels.
Yeah.
And if when we pass peepholes, we see each other, but we're literally going through the same journey. It's kind of crazy.
There was a moment like
I love it.
I think it was when I was talking my first and only relationship, when you said something about his age, and I was like, babe, we have the exact same timeline. Like, we started dating at the same, like, you started dating at 19, I started dating him at 19, 20. 4 years older, 4 years older. Yeah. I was like, babe, I don't know why. She was like, when we started dating, someone was like, he's too old for you. I'm like, that was the end of the conversation.
You trying to be protective younger sister, older sister.
Look at your man.
Literally. But to be fair, my man was not the age of your man, so. Let me cut it at that.
Mentally, spiritually,
emotionally,
a little bit of an adolescent.
A little bit content is given.
The thing about me, that's why I have to say things like, when you really think my boss is a narcissist, because for me, I will find men who are emotionally intelligent. Yeah. They are smart. They are just
scary
what's
smart.
The word? Like, emotionally intelligent, but not I keep saying emotionally open, but that's not the word I'm looking for. They're just not vulnerable. So they're smart enough to like assess and
but they're not emotionally intelligent then.
That's not emotionally intelligent.
I've learned that
emotionally aware, but not emotionally.
No, that's a part of emotionally intelligent. That's what I'm realizing. I get what you're trying to say. But that's a huge part of being emotionally intelligent. I feel like we've made emotionally intelligent. We've almost.
I'm not looking for that word. They're emotionally aware, but they're not emotionally.
They're not able to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we've switched them in society in which we've given emotionally intelligent the definition of emotionally aware. Meanwhile, a lot of people are emotionally. Some men that you've dated, for example, are emotionally aware. They're self-aware, but they're not emotionally intelligent. Yeah. Because intelligence is it's well-rounded, right? It's being aware, but then also being able to be vulnerable, share, assess your emotions, give it freely, receive it freely, assess your own self. It's like a feedback loop. It's a whole. It's like, it's not just like a I know my emotions, take it or leave it kind of thing. Yeah. But you're not able to. Intelligence is about learning, right? Intelligence is about being able to receive information, give it, and vulnerability is a huge part of that. You have to trust people enough to give yourself and receive them, and then create a safe space for all parts.
And I think,
do you know what I mean?
This is the part. This is the when we have conversations about like you being in relationships with these men. You almost didn't have to assess yourself because they were the problem. And in leaving situations where it's like, oh, you realize like I was with a partner who wasn't emotionally vulnerable, so that I didn't have to assess that I wasn't emotionally vulnerable. Like, so like in leaving and trying to pursue relationships where I'm like, no, I need to be more vulnerable and more sharing, yada yada. Saying no, now it's you.
No, seriously.
Now it's you. I don't have to focus on you because you
fully.
Why don't you talk to me, and why? And I also have the guise of womanhood to like fall behind. Like, people think women are just like naturally. Like, empathetic and naturally like giving and naturally like therapeutic. No, but we're not, because men will be out here sharing my problems. And I'm looking at them like, did you think I was gonna solve them for you? Because I'm not equipped to do that.
Because the thing is, I feel like you've dated your past relationship. The way I see it is like that person was at least emotionally aware.
Yeah.
But you didn't have the space to be emotionally intelligent. I was in a situation where I was emotionally aware at the time, and my partner wasn't emotionally aware or emotionally intelligent. But now that I've cut myself from that, I've been able to jump from, I think, being emotionally aware, because I've always been self-aware of myself. But now I can be emotionally intelligent because I couldn't be vulnerable in those situations, and I shouldn't have been vulnerable. It honestly wasn't a safe situation. There's no feedback there. Whereas you,
like,
you were emotionally aware, but neither one of you was able to be vulnerable. So you can't reach the level of like full emotional intelligence, because neither one of you is.
That's actually so real.
Do you know what I mean? Able to like give that to the other. You're just both by yourself being aware of how you feel.
This is what happened to me today.
Yeah. Yeah, but the challenge is being able to let go of something like that, so then you can invite a situation which you're able to do that, and you feel safe doing that. Yeah. That's where I feel like it's exciting at. That's where I feel like we're slowly getting to.
I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna practice.
Dating is. That's what I'm really feeling like dating is. I'm having fun, and I'm just practicing. I'm practicing what I want. I'm practicing what I like.
I used to love dating. Like when I wound up in this relationship,
I'm practicing cutting out situations that I don't like. Like, it's all about learning yourself, literally. Learning what you want, learning what you'll tolerate, learning the kind of people that you want around you. My big thing is boundaries. Like, I have to be able to cut off how am I going to be in a marriage, right, where I can tell my husband, who's a fixture here, time and time again, that I don't like something. If I can't, the problem that I'm having is I'm even proud of myself for even being able to say the first no. But I'm realizing with the world, you have to be able to continuously stand up for yourself. You have to be able to continuously enforce it. It's nothing to just, my therapist told me that. It's not one thing to just set a boundary. A boundary is literally like boundaries. You're supposed to keep them up, keep building them, to build a fort around you, because there's so much evil in the world. There's so many things that are not for you in the world.
We're consistently going to try to take and...
Yes, nobody knows you well enough, so everyone has their own like pockets, but it's about you to like build your own boundary and you're allowed to open the door and continue to close it, continue to open it, continue to close it, and keep locking it for the people that are going to are you going to tell someone who wants to come and get your food to stop coming if they're hungry? Do you know what I mean? They're going to keep trying to come in, but you have to be able to reinforce it. It's not enough to be like, I'm proud of myself, I put one brick up, and then walk away. Like, I have to actually practice continuing to set it up higher and higher, because men I'm realizing men want to be seen with you, right?
Like,
but I'm embarrassed being seen with you.
You are the commodity. Like, are you the one who sent me that video where it was talking about how like women or relationships with beautiful people or like smart, intelligent women, like that is basically like male currency. That sounds so like
it is. It is. Like, I don't think I said you that, but I've watched a video like that, and it's very accurate.
And it's true. It's very much linked with, what's the word I'm looking for? Like desirability politics. Like desire. Like, you are beautiful next to this man, and in a professional world, like the fact that he's obtained you
literally
speaks volumes as to who he is. Like, you make him look better,
literally. And I didn't realize that until I felt a sense of like I was dating a guy who, just the feeling, just the way he moved in the world when he was around me. Just the feeling, you could feel him like big up his chest when we're together. Especially when we get dressed up, like when people would stop us, they'd be like, "You are stunning," or just say like, "You guys look really," oh God. And it's like this underlying sense of like, in this male world, how they feel amongst each other. You don't even care or see me, right? You just feel good around your buddies to have me here next to you. And that is scary.
And it's gross, because how quickly they will forget.
For them, literally.
How quickly you'll forget that
quickly.
It's me. It's me that's bringing this into your life.
Yeah. They don't even care. But that's what's made me realize, like, I remember when we were fighting about one of the biggest fights we ever had, where we just were misunderstanding each other so much. We were so in the dark of who each other were. Yeah. I was in the dark of who I was. And you said something to me that was like, I would literally rather be alone. That has stuck with me forever, because at the time I couldn't even picture it. I was forcing myself to be so miserable in that situation, just to have someone there than to be. The feeling that I'm having now is insane to me because I was so scared to walk away from that relationship.
Yeah.
If I knew that this was on the other side,
an extra minute of time
to even have the courage to walk away from that situation, I wish I had it sooner. But God does everything in His right timing. But it's like, I feel that so hard now that I'm like, I'm privileged to be able to explore and see what I want and decide who I want to be with. But worst case scenario, I get to spend my life with myself.
And that's really the truth. And like men being able to use you as currency, because it's like if in the world in which women can choose to be alone, she's choosing to be with you. Like it's very much like, oh, you were able to.
You need to work to be here.
Like such a beautiful.
Yes. You actually need to work to be here and to sustain it. Yeah.
He who finds himself a wife.
What did he say? Has found a what? Oh yeah, a good thing.
Like a sweet thing. Like it's very much so like, and that's why I'm. That's why, like, me saying, like, going out to get dinner is like, dude, I can hang out with myself. That's not the thing.
Saying.
Like, so if I'm over here romantic, dining, reading a book in a bar, what are you gonna
come here and do? Like, honestly, and it's not until I forced myself to be single and sit in with myself that I'm like, damn, to give this up would take a lot.
Yeah.
To give the, like, that's why when we were having that conversation earlier where I was like, I actually, if I do get married, when I do get married, I want my own space. Like, I'm already feeling protective of my space.
What I've crafted and curated for myself.
Because the amount of times where I was uncomfortable for years and I didn't even realize it. So I didn't even let myself feel the depths of that discomfort. I was just with another person in my space. Even you're opening your mouth, I don't want to hear you
and
right
I think
now.
that's why so desperately I keep trying to force, like, I want to live alone for a minute. I need to live alone for a minute. Like, I don't need to live alone because I like not spending so much money, and I need people to like remind me.
And this housing market, I need to keep reminding you.
But it's very much like someone's always going to be in your
And that's what I mean by like, you were trying to argue with me of like, no, I need to be up under my husband. You can still be up under your husband. You can still be with them. But
I wasn't trying to argue with you. I just think it's very delusional to like, to be entering a space already thinking about the ways you're going to be separated.
Let's get into this. Why?
Because I've had this
It's not going, it's no different to me than a prenup.
No. I'm very pro prenup. That's,
so then let's talk about it.
It's
because
like people our age that are just like, and it's not even like.
By the way, hold that thought. The premise is we were talking about if I get married, I'm going to have to. We're gonna have our marital room, but I know for a fact I'm gonna have my own space, a room that if I want to sleep alone for a night, I can go do that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So then what were you talking about?
It was because I was in conjunction with conversations I'm having with friends and people who are like just not casually dating, but like dating. Mm-hmm. I'm like, when someone who's been in a 10-year marriage is just like, yeah, we basically have our own houses and we have our own, like, I don't care. I think that's a beautiful setup. You guys do it. But it's like, you're 20-something. You've been dating for 1 year. Like, when you say, like, I want a whole separate room, I'm just like, okay.
So what is it about that you don't?
I don't know. It's just like, it feels too early to be doing all that.
It's no...
Having your own space is one thing.
That's exactly what it is,
I live with someone and I need my own space.
Why are you trying to distinguish those things as different? Having your own space is what I'm thinking about when I'm saying I want my own room. I'm gonna need to have my own room. Where sometimes if I want to wake up and I don't want you next to me, I want to go be able to do that. Even if it's a guest room, even if it's somewhere where I can just go pick out my clothes in peace. Like,
no, I think that's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna have to have that. But I too am a lover girl. I want to be up under my man.
No, I think that's fine.
But sometimes
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't think, and then to me, the reason I'm saying I don't see it any different than a prenup is because it's all preparation. It's like of course, if you are gonna have that dynamic 10 years down the road, why would you not prepare that for yourself beforehand? Why would you not prepare that for yourself early on?
But I don't see what do you mean by what's the comparison?
In that you're just preparing for it. Your point was that why would you set it up? Why are you thinking about it that early? And in my head, it's just preparation. Why would you prepare for something? Mm-hmm. Why would you already wait until you're in that situation to then remedy it? When you could prepare for it? I know that I'm going to want my own space. I know that I'm going to have time. I'm really realizing, yes, I'm realizing heavily. I'm 50-50, introvert, extrovert. Mm-hmm. I love to go out, but I also need if I go out a whole weekend, the next weekend I probably need to be home. The next week I probably need to be chilling every night, sleeping to rejuvenate myself. I like to be in my own head.
You're actually right, because you know what I'm thinking? I'm always going to compare it back to you, because I'm thinking like, I don't like partnerships in which I like when I feel like I'm alone with you. Like when I'm with you and it feels like I could be by myself.
Yes.
But even with those people, even with people like you, where I'm like, my
Sometimes
boundaries are
someone's in
extra
your space.
stretched. But no, I can be, there's times where I've spent like 5 days at a time with Sandra, and she let her breathe wrong. I'm like, get out of my house.
Legit.
Got out.
That is a perfect
to go home.
That is the perfect
So like for a
example.
spouse, I get it.
Because
No,
if
that
we
makes
live
sense.
together, right, we're
Yeah.
so close, closer than anybody
Yeah.
I know. Even
Yeah,
if we
that
live
makes perfect
together,
sense.
I guarantee you,
Yeah.
you would be my
I could
perfect
love you
roommate.
down, and I'd be like,
You
get
could
out.
be you would be my perfect
Go to
roommate.
your room.
And even then, I need to not talk to you for 6 hours straight minimum. Don't even come and sniff. You're promise one shoot that you do, and I'm like,
And I will box you.
I just want to uppercut your chin. Let me spray one extra spray of perfume. Jane is like, go start your car
I'll be
now.
like-
Go start your car. I don't hear the engine. Like legitimately. Sometimes I come visit you and I know for a fact we're crossing each other's bodies. I'm like,
there
I need
was
to.
a time
I'm leaving.
where, and I think you had to prep me. I think we were
I
going
did.
somewhere. Sandra was I was out in front. Sandra was in my apartment for like 2-3 hours without me. I came in already annoyed.
No,
I came
I'm
in
so glad
already
you brought that up, and I'm glad you
So
got
you're
yourself
right.
to understand.
I'm telling you, I always have to go like
Because
when
even if
think
I
about
love a man
husband,
down, bro, come
I have
on
to think
now.
about you because I'm just like, who would
push it better than me?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because
Yeah, I
our
would need my own
situation is a
space.
perfect example of like, we don't even do it on purpose. It's just, you can love someone. I probably don't love anyone more than you. I don't love anyone where I would defend somebody with my life more than you, right? And
I would
you
do
still
space.
and you don't even do it on purpose. We're just complete opposites. So there are times where like, there's not things that I'm doing on purpose to irritate you. We're just different people.
Just being herself.
And I'm realizing now that I've spent enough time by myself that I enjoy that. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy being in my own headspace. Sometimes someone just being around you, I'm naturally trying to figure out, are you okay? Like before you even know it.
I need no noise.
Yep.
Like,
So that's more so what I feel protective of before it's even happened. And I know I'm gonna have to curate that space for myself to be able to be a healthy version of myself in a relationship. Because I will naturally and subconsciously give too much of myself to you just because you're here.
Yeah.
I need to be able to pull myself out of it to come back and recoup and give you the best version of myself. And I've never been able to do that in the past. I've never done that.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a
Yeah.
very interesting year.
Welcome to the next phase. I'm actually excited for us. You know what I mean?
I'm turning 25
Practice.
in a month, and my prefrontal cortex is cooking.
It's about to.
It's gonna start preheating.
I feel like that's what's happened to
That
me,
is-
honestly.
yeah,
My
that is what's
frontal
happening.
lobe has just...
Babes, you just hit 27. That's like
We're hitting some serious
serious
numbers.
numbers. That means you've been cooking for a minute.
But honestly, yeah, I feel like we're in a new phase now, and I'm excited. And it's even more fun that we're more aware of it now. You know what I mean? We can really dissect it, talk about it, experience it fully now.
I just want something new.
We have to start practicing.
Love
So
and
anyway,
romance.
2024, I really be forgetting sometimes we're filming,
I know.
but new year, new us, low key. Actually, we can
I'm
actually
moving.
say that.
I'm moving.
New
Like,
year, new us.
I'm.
I'm getting hot and I need to get ready, so
Yeah,
we're
okay.
about to.
What time is it? Taking steps
Two.
forward.
We're about to.
So thanks.
I literally told this man we're not gonna. I'm not.
You're not doing it.
And he's talking about
Easier.
some,
I don't like
which
that.
is actually just the right timing. No, it's not. Actually, what did I just tell you?
To say no. To again
I
and
know,
again and
right?
again.
Oh, brother.
It's practice.
That got me figured. I need to actually practice. Oh boy. Anyway, glad we're meeting each other again.
Yeah.
That was very corny. I hated
Yeah.
that I just
I
said
do
that.
want to. I think we can incorporate like. Actually, I don't think we should be giving anyone advice. I was gonna say we can. I downloaded Reddit. I'm a Reddit.
No, we
girl now.
could.
But like just
We
like
could.
reading
I want
scenarios
to
and
do
be
reading
like, here's
scenarios
what
and
we did.
dissect it. I
Yeah.
fully want to do that. Yeah.
Okay, that could be fun.
I want to do that for sure. I think
It's
we
like,
should.
Sometimes we don't always want to talk about ourselves.
Yeah. I definitely think we should do that.
And I've been in watching
Maybe we
other
can
podcasts.
do like Reddit ones where up until we have maybe our own like.
Even in just watching other podcasts, I've seen multiple people who do like a let's talk about ourselves, have a little thing, and then they
then
have
get
another
into-
segment
yeah.
that's just like
I
conversations.
feel like up until we get our own like audience where we can have like I
Both of
really
them.
want to get to a point where we are genuinely sisters sitting down, like we're talking
Yeah.
to you guys, engaging with you guys. But up until then, I'm fully good with like us talking about.
This felt like a very organic one.
I loved this
And it's
one.
because
This
we
is a
didn't
good
talk.
start. Yes.
We were like, please hold it.
Yes. No, this is a
I
good.
liked it.
When I tell you guys, we legitimately were talking, going to do things, and I was like, we need to just
Don't
film
speak
because
it,
we're
yeah.
gonna start to. We just word vomit and have our sister time, and then we get on camera, and I'm like, I don't want to go over this again.
And then
tell
we're almost
you guys.
like recapping
Yeah.
as if you guys got the background story. And
Yes.
yes. So
But this was much
good.
better. Yeah.
I liked it.
Well,
So maybe I'll complete my
Happy New
bubble.
Year, guys. Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Happy New Year. We haven't seen them since last year.
I know. It's been a minute. And this was we've actually tried to film sit downs like this after we did the Love
And we just cut it.
is Blind episodes, and they were so awful. I hated
We
them.
didn't need to share them.
They just were not natural. We just did not post them. But this is a good start. New year, new us. This is a good introductory episode. We don't really know where this channel is gonna go. We're just literally here to sit down with you guys
and converse.
Yeah, converse, talk to you guys, meet new people, make new friends. But yeah, I'm excited.
But it's my year
I'm
of love,
excited for
so
us this year.
I'm putting it out into the universe. If you know
Amen.
somebody
maybe I
that
need to put it in my universe too. It's my year of love too.
but don't send me foolishness.
Guys,
I'm open. I'm being so serious.
if anybody could have a meet cute, it would be you actually. Me, I'm
I
not
haven't
spontaneous enough.
seen the meet. Okay, no, that's not true. I could have a meet.
You could, absolutely.
I'll be talking to
Because me, I'm
strangers.
delusional. Anyway, we're gonna end this. Love you guys. We don't even know you, but love
wishing
you
the
guys.
best in the new year.
Happy New Year.
You should move like us with a madness.